What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I'm starting to see this huge problem, this huge issue developing. So you have the president, and the president kind of start talking about affordability after the election, this election that we just saw, because Democrats are talking a lot about affordability. You have Mamdani talking about affordability, and he actually won on that. And so now you heard the president come out and say, yeah, we need to start talking about affordability. He said that first, and now he's backing away from that and said, we need to stop talking about affordability. But this is going to hurt Republicans in the midterm election if they can't find some type of a solution to this, because they keep going back, or at least the president keeps going back to this whole affordability, and the prices are going down. The prices of groceries are going down. The prices of gas is going down. All of this stuff that you're hearing the president say. And we know that's not true. So I'm going to show you this clip. We'll talk a little bit about it in this video. But first off, you guys watch this video and you find this information helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing this video with your family and friends. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go.
The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump than it was under Sleepy Joe Biden. Yes, sir. And the prices are way down. Caroline?
Bro, refuse to address, sir, what you just said, which is that you inherited the worst inflation crisis in modern American history, and you are fixing it in 10 short months. And your entire administration has been tasked with this effort, from Treasury Department to Agriculture Department to the National Economic Council right here at the White House. They are slashing regulation. He signed the largest middle-class tax cut in 6 months. In 6 months, in record time, putting more money back into the American people's pockets. So affordability is what the American people elected this president to do, and he is doing it, and you guys refuse to cover it, and you refuse to cover that the previous administration created the worst unaffordability crisis in American history. And I've been watching the TV all day saying that he doesn't want to talk about affordability. That's what he's working on every day, and that's what this administration is doing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and fact check what we just saw, because I think this is interesting. We can take a look at some of the different information that we have. We can look at gas prices. So you've heard the president talk about gas. He's saying, look, gas is close to $2. Okay, this is AAA that we're looking at here, and it's showing us gas prices. So the current gas price or average is $3.07. If we go back last year, it was $3.09. Okay, so it's gone down, but only by 2 cents on average. Okay, so we're not looking at $2 gas. And I know he's probably saying, okay, well, $2 gas, that's because he's looking at probably just one state. Okay, you do have some states where gas is $2 something, but not near $2. Okay, you don't have anything that's near $2. As a matter of fact, the lowest that we could show here, looking at this graph here, is showing us $2.58. That's the lowest on the screen, and that's in the blue color here. So, and some of them will be $2.75. Some will be $2.50. Some will be $2.67, $2.59. You see there. So you have some states that are around that, but when you average all the states, that's when you get the $3.07. And that's what we should be looking at, the average of all states, not just one state. We can't just take one state and say, well, that's $2.50, so that's close to $2. So we're going to just use that state and we're going to ignore the rest. Okay, so now let's talk about inflation, because he talked about inflation and his press secretary was talking about inflation. So if we look at inflation, if we go back, and we'll go back to January. So this is 2025, January 2025. This is what President Trump came in on. He came in at 3%. That's what we were looking at when it came to inflation. And look what happened. January, February, it dropped to 2.8%. March, it dropped to 2.4%. April, it dropped to 2.3%. So this is good, right? He came in and inflation started going down. Now, should he get all of the credit for that? Probably not, because if it were really, really bad, guess what? He would have blamed Biden and said, this is the reason why inflation is so high. It's because of Biden. But when we're looking at this, it did go down. So let's just, for sake of argument, let's give him the credit. Let's give him the credit. He came in day one, got inflation to go down. And in April, it got down as low as 2.3%. But then what happened? Then we start hearing about tariffs and we start hearing about all this different stuff. And guess what? In May, it went up to 2.4%. In June, it went to 2.7%. In July, it was at 2.7%. In August, 2.9%. And now guess what? September, we're back up to 3%. And we don't know what's going to happen in October because we might not get that information because of this government shutdown. And so it will probably go up even higher. And we have to just think about things, okay? We know that the Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates. That is going to mean that people are going to spend a little bit more because they're going to be able to lower interest rates means that people it's more desirable for people to take out loans and things like that and purchase things. We also know that we're going into a holiday season where people are going to be spending more money anyway because of the holiday season. And so we're going to see an increase as a result of that. And you can see, look at the pattern here. Back in the Biden administration in September, we saw inflation at what? 2.4%, 2.6% in October, and we saw it rising. Part of the reason why we saw it rising is because of spending. People were spending more because of the holidays. We're going to see the same thing. So now we're at 3%. At least back in September of last year, we were at 2.4%. This year in September, we're at 3%. And so it's probably going to go up even higher. And so all of this talk about, yes, he's the affordability, he's bringing down inflation, he's doing all of this stuff. Guess what? It's not being reflected. We don't see it here. We see the opposite. We did see it go down, and it went down to this lowest point in April, but then it just started going up, and it will continue to rise. And so this is going to be a huge problem for the president. And the president's talking about, I don't want to talk about affordability anymore. Guess what? You're going to have to talk about affordability, because if you don't, you have a lot of Republicans that are running for re-election in this midterm. They're going to lose because people are not happy with the economy. They're not happy with the price of items. They're not happy with when they go to the grocery store and they have to spend a bunch of money. And it's been this way for a couple of years now, and it's only getting worse now. We're seeing, we're not seeing prices go down. And that's the problem. That's a huge problem for the president. Now, the president, he might be thinking, you know what, I'm a lame duck president. I'm not running again. So it doesn't mean anything to me. But he's going to hurt the Republican Party. If they can't fix this problem, it's going to hurt the Republican Party. And so we'll have to see what happens. But I just wanted to show you this because you hear it all the time. The White House comes out and says, no, we have this under control. Inflation is under control. Prices are way down when it comes to groceries. Prices are way down here. Prices are way down there. It's cheaper. Thanksgiving is going to be cheaper this year and all this stuff that you're hearing about. And it's just not true. And the people who are suffering, and one of the things, I always say this, when it comes to an issue that we all know about, it's food. It's the cost of food. We're all experts in that field. We might not be experts when it comes to crime. You can say, yeah, crime is down in D.C. Well, if I don't live in D.C. and I don't look up that information, I have no idea if crime is down. But guess what? If you tell me that grocery prices are down, or if you tell me that gas prices are down, I'm going to know because I go and buy groceries every week. And so I know the cost of those items. And so you can't fool people when it comes to the cost of food. We know how much food costs. And so when you tell us that the prices are way down when it comes to groceries, we know that's not true. And so we'll have to see what happens in the future when it comes to, is this going to hurt Republicans? But right now it's hurting them. Okay, and I do an AI model. I look at the different look at the House races. I look at the Senate. I look at redistricting, and I ask AI, how do you feel about these different issues? And AI will come back and will tell me, okay, we'll put a model together. And that's basically what I did. I trained AI to create this model for the House of Representatives, for the Senate, and for redistricting, and give me the information, pull in all of the different data that's out there, and give me a prediction when it comes to what is the House going to look like in 2026, or basically 2027 after the midterm election. What is the Senate going to look like after the midterm election? What is this redistricting going to look like before the midterm election? And so I have those videos, so you can check those out. I'll have those linked at the end of this video. But I want to know how you guys feel about this. What do you think about the president just being out there saying, no, prices of groceries are going down? You got to think about this too. And I was thinking about this a couple of nights ago. When was the last time do you think President Trump actually went to the grocery store and bought groceries. And I was thinking it's probably been 20, 30, 40, even could be possibly 50 years ago that the president actually went out, got a shopping cart, and was pushing it through a grocery store. Just think about that. And so, and not just the president. I mean, you have a lot of these different politicians that are out there right now that probably don't go shopping, very rarely. And so do they really know how the cost of items in the grocery store? They don't. They're just hearing it from different people, or they're looking at the different information that's out there, but they don't really know because they're not going out and buying food. But we, the American people, the working class, the middle class, the poor, we go out at least once a week to buy groceries. And so we know how much groceries cost. And so when you're just going to sit there and tell us, no, the prices are going down, we know that's not true. So I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.